I remember the locals telling me a story about a small elven village located near the cliffs. They said that it disappeared overnight, practically vanished from the face of the earth. They named it Abditory. I want to find Abditory. Well, hello. Welcome to my channel. I am Acacia. I really do hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm gonna make this as short as I can. I just wanted to kind of give you a little backstory because this is a passion project I've been wanting to do for such a long time. I'm calling it Abditory after the story that I had written in regards to these elves who got into dark magic and they were attacked, and now they have fled underground, and the locals that visited their village haven't seen them in a while, so they're starting to spread rumors. And it's about this explorer that goes hunting for it because they just kind of want a place to get away. It's just a passion project of mine, and I really wanted to do it, and I was like, okay, I'm semi-okay at building, so why not make this the first video on my YouTube channel? This probably is going to be a 4-part series, and I just really wanted to put it out there just to kind of kickstart my channel. I really do hope you guys enjoy this video. And like I said, I am going to keep this short and sweet, and I just really hope you guys enjoy the video. So if you guys would like and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. You don't have to, but if you don't mind, that'd be great. And without further ado, let's get into the good part of this video. Alright, so here we go. So I will let you know before we get deep into this video, I am still learning how to use the replay mod, and I am still learning how to properly record with it. So forewarning, there may be a lot of pauses. There may be a lot of the camera moving from side to side. And being really weird like that, so I just wanted to get that out of the way before, if you guys comment, if there's any comments about it, I'm sorry. Bear with me, I'm learning. So right here, throughout this video, you will see me kind of doing some landscaping, or terraforming, if you will, and you'll see kind of the first part of the build. I was really kind of going for this what's the word for it, this elven themed, well, of course, but just kind of warm, and I wouldn't say warm because technically the workroom is part of, I guess we'll have a slums area, I guess is what I've heard it being called the most, and it's just kind of for the workers to come and work. I imagine they have farms, so you'll see me build a farm, and you'll see me do a little Minecraft cave entrance type thing. Eventually throughout this video you'll see me decorate it to make it look more like a workroom. I imagine farms and honey farms, so they can get sweet honey to make candy, and just use the beeswax, and just kind of living off of what earth they have. I imagined that they brought the earth in instead of just making it so rocky. They were just really connected to the earth, and it's just something that they loved and they couldn't live without, even if they were going underground to get away from like dark magic. And I will say throughout this series, I'm gonna leave it till later videos, and you'll see what I mean in later videos, when I start building like the big parts, like the actual village area where the homes are and the lakes that are gonna be underneath it. There is still going to be like this dark elven theme to it, and yeah, so I imagine the workroom, because I imagine there's still a tier of like high order, or like I don't know the real word, I don't know the proper word for it, but like there's like the rich people, and then there's like the kind of semi-rich people, and then there's the leaders, and then there's like the poor people, if you will, the poor elves, who have to actually work to stay comfortable. I still wanted to add that factor into it because it is a village, it is kind of a city, a society, it's elven society, and I just kind of wanted to give that vibe, in which you'll later see when I start building like the village area and the slums. I don't really know another way to call it, so I apologize if that's like a really bad term for it, but you'll see throughout the video, like I make this workroom, and there's so many changes that go into this workroom. What I originally envisioned completely just like did not happen. So yeah. Now, I do have some notes here of kind of like what my thought process was through creating this entire like workroom, and I do remember really struggling with the floor. I kind of started doubting my building abilities. Like I was kind of like having a builder's block. I'm like, everything is so simple, but if I make it too much, it's just going to be like a lot, and it's just gonna look overcrowded, and it's just gonna look like really just not good. But it's so simple. Why is it so simple? How can I make it not simple? The floor, oh my god, the floor. Now the mud bricks that you saw me put down, I loved the sound of walking on them, and you will see in this cave the floor did get redone in the end product, and I really wanted to add amethyst to this, but I just didn't think that this room really fit amethyst. I didn't think this room really needed any amethyst at the end of the video, or at the end of it all, so I did end up changing it. Of course, I want to add amethyst because I love that block. It's my favorite block ever, and I just kind of wanted to add that later on into the actual build, like maybe in the village area. So you will see me struggle with the floor. I really loved the sound the mud bricks made. I loved it so much, but in the end you will see the floor go through so many changes. That was one of the things I struggled with the most, was the floor, because it isn't really the centerpiece of the build, but if the floor doesn't look right, the build doesn't look right. So in a way it is the centerpiece of the build. You'll eventually see me come up with some weird symbol, which you will see throughout the rest of this series building this project. It's kind of like their little city, kingdom, whatever you really want to call this symbol. And like I said, I really started to doubt my building skills. So yeah, you'll see me struggle a little bit. You'll see a lot of changes. Like I said previously, what I envisioned for this originally kind of morphed and changed as I build. Now, towards the end, I started getting my confidence back in my building. I'm like, okay, it's starting to come together. Things are piecing together. But in the end, I was really happy with the result of the workroom, but it went completely off of what I envisioned. But in the end, I was super proud of it and I loved it. So yeah. So here you're gonna see me start to build the farm, kind of start the process, and this, of course, like many other things in this build, like I've said recently, before, that it goes through a lot of changes. Not as many as the other things, but I didn't want, originally I was like, okay, just one flat farm, but it just didn't look right. So you'll see me kind of raise other parts of the farm. Now I only use wheat, potatoes, and carrots because I hate beetroot. A burning passion of hate for that plant crop. So you won't see me use beetroot, but you'll see me use wheat, potatoes, and carrots. Now I wanted to add some life to the build, so you'll eventually see me add bees. Like I mentioned before, I imagine they have like a little beehive area, so you'll see that. But this farm does go through some changes because I just wasn't happy with what I started out with. So I do change it a little bit. I think I just used the biomes you'll go, and I just wanted to give you guys a little clip of me kind of going into it, just looking for new blocks to build with, and I just want to show you guys a little clip of how amazed I was at hanging bones and how confused I was at trying to figure out how to place these hanging bones. So yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy this little clip. Has hanging bones. I had to look it up like a dumb to figure out how to hang them. You hang them by bone blocks. Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Anyways. Okay, so this is where I make yet another change to the floor. It like I said, it goes through a lot of changes. And you'll see in the next few clips, I start making like the ceiling decorations with kind of like the nature life that I was talking about, like kind of seeping in. They brought it in, made it like spread and all that stuff. But right here, you're gonna see another clip of me, yet again, changing the floor because I was not happy with this floor. And upcoming, you'll also see me start making that elven symbol soon. So yeah, and make it yet another change to said floor. I was very intimidated by this ceiling. I was very intimidated by this space, period. And I'm pretty sure that'll go throughout the series. I think that may be why I had a builder's block, is like, there's so much space. Why so simple? I need to make bigger, but bigger can be bad sometimes. So you'll see me work through and just kind of make some more changes, do the ceiling some more. I wanted to have like these hanging lights, which you'll see, but you'll see me kind of say, F it, and like say, I'm gonna go do something else. So you'll see me start to kind of build like the little, build up with the little mining area. You'll see me add like a little platform for some ores to sit that I've, you know, imagined that they brought up from the caves and have sat there for smelting and stuff like that, just for like easier access. So yeah, you'll see me do that. So the idea was, with the walls, I was going to kind of make them where they looked kind of like chiseled out. Of course, this is something that they've built over years and years and years of work, and new generations have come in, and it just kind of looks chiseled. Eventually throughout the video, I did kind of not show it, but you may see some changes within the walls as far as adding moss and adding cracked stone brick, and it kind of just shapes, and I just kind of wanted to make it like look chiseled out and kind of a little worn down. You'll see me add some mossy stone brick and just kind of give it that life feel. So here you'll see me, I did change the carpet, except that one you can see. That I think I came back and changed later, because I swear that wasn't in the end product. I added some, I think it was water grass, I think is what the block was called, and to the water puddles that help water their crops. You'll also see me do this little waterfall. I added some waterfalls to the farm, not only to help water the crops in case I missed anything, but I imagine that the elves loved waterfalls and wanted to incorporate this in every possible room, area, anything. I feel like they were obsessed with water and waterfalls specifically. Okay, so now it is time for me to build easily one of my favorite parts of this build, besides the mushrooms, which you'll see later. I was so proud of those. I'm not used to building mushrooms on a whim, but it's the bee area. Easily my favorite area. I was so happy with how it turned out, and it was just... A lot of ideas kind of changed on this. Like I said before, many things changed, but with the bee area, you'll see me kind of change some things up, and it just, in the end, looked really, really cool, and I really liked it. Easily one of my favorite parts. Okay, so about this time, I actually really did start getting some of my confidence back. Like I said earlier, my builder came back to me. I started to work around the area, making the ceilings kind of change as far as like just being so plain. I started adding leaves and changing up the leaf textures to use different textures. I started adding the mushrooms. You'll see I didn't make this like the main floor part of the area as fancy as I did the farm area. I kind of just put some slabs up there with some hanging leaves, and kind of made them hang like little vine type areas, like they had grown down and like swooped, because don't get me wrong, I like the vine block for adding like texture, but it goes everywhere, and that's not really what I wanted. Because I imagine as I go throughout this project, if I'm going from room to room, if it's loaded in, if the chunk is loaded in, it's just gonna spread everywhere, and I'm gonna have to go through, and it would just be a mess. So eventually you will see me add some slabs, some moss, kind of add the bricks and the andesite that I was using. I believe it's andesite. And you'll see me kind of do the ceiling, and yeah, so I just kind of made it a little bit more simpler, but it still looked really good in the end, and I was still really happy about it. So what you're seeing here is actually a palette I had in mind, because this is a workroom. I wanted to add maybe like a shipment that they got, because eventually throughout the project I will be adding like a little harbor area type thing, where the guards of the village, because they are underground, it is supposed to be secret and hard to find. I imagine they would have guards throughout the entrance, and I'll get into that later in the project, explaining my whole thought process on that. But I imagine that it was just like a shipment that they got, that they kind of just chunked in the room, but it ended up being an eyesore, so I got rid of it. So yeah. So what you just saw was yet another change to the floor. This actually is the final change to the floor. And I was really happy with how the floor turned out in the end. I felt like it fit the build more. And like I said, it changed the room completely. So yeah, I was really happy how that turned out. And here, later on, after I do the floor, you'll see I did some kind of like workroom stuff, because it just felt a little plain. So I basically added a little like bulletin board type thing of like to-dos and what we've already done, or what they've already done, and I added like a little storage chest for like all the harvested crops. So yeah, that's it for this part of the build. I was really happy with how it turned out. Overall, after I got my builder back and got into focus mode, things really started to come together. Now, I will say that this was very intimidating, and I like to imagine that when the elves first got to the land, they were intimidated by it as well, just to kind of give myself some comfort. And I look forward to finishing this project and making it all come together. And without further ado, I present to you the Elven Workroom.